Hi guys, I'm back again, and this time we are going to talk about adding using place value. Now that we've covered what is place value and how we learn it at school, let's talk about how we add it. And again, you'll be able to see why we do it this way and just the benefits of it if it's for you. Of course, you can practice any other way as well, but let me just show you today how we do adding using place value. So if we are adding, and we do in third grade go up to 3-digit numbers, and I will use an example. So let's say we are adding 325 plus 172. And so right now, again, when we talk about place value, we are talking about what is this 2 worth? What is this 7 worth? Or what is the value of this 7 in this number? What's the value of this 1? So we want them to always remember that this 1 is not just a 1. It's actually a 100. And so when we are setting it up, we are talking about the value of that number, and that's why we call it adding using place value. And this is just one of the ways that we add. And so I'm going to go ahead and set up this number, and I'm going to say that this is where my hundreds are going to go, this is where my tens go, and then my ones. Believe it or not, it's very similar to stacking, but we are stacking them in a very organized way, and we are giving the numbers their value. And so I'm going to start with this number, and it doesn't really matter which way you go, and that's another good way about using the HTO chart, and HTO, hundreds, tens, ones. And so a lot of times you will see that we refer to it as the HTO chart. And so the great thing about it is that you can draw the number or you can write the number either way. You can go left to right or you can go right to left. And that's a great thing about, we teach them to read left to right, and then all of a sudden we switch it. So this way you can do it either way you prefer. And then plus, and I always say let's put it on both sides just so you don't forget what you're doing, because sometimes that happens. 100, 72. And if you notice, we are also really talking about keeping your numbers organized and keeping them in between the lines. And so I'm going to stretch my line, and I'm going to show you how fun it is to add using place value. Again, you can do it either way, but let's just go ahead and start with the ones place, and then I'll show you how to add it starting at the hundreds place. So 5 plus 2 equals 7. 20 plus 70 is 90. Now, you may hear us say, push pause your 0. What does that mean? Well, we're just going to hold that 0 in place, because a lot of times when students see 0, they get a little bit confused, and so we talk about, we'll hide that 0 for just a second. We're just going to push pause it. We're not going to get rid of it. We're just going to pretend it's not there for a second. And we're going to say, what is 2 plus 7? Well, 2 plus 7 equals 9. And so then they'll be able to say, oh yeah, that's right, 20 plus 70. Also, you can always add it saying, okay, well, what's 20 plus 10, another 10, all the way until you get to 90. And then you have 300 plus 100, and that equals 400. And if you notice, this is very similar to what they're coming from in second grade with adding using expanded form, which allows them to see each digit for the value that it is. And so this is allowing me now to add all of it together and say this is now 497. So my answer is 497.